Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And this is going to be my last video for the night. It's about 6:30 p.m. here in Brisbane, Australia. It's been a long day, but it's been a very, very rewarding day. I love to see things happen, and they've certainly been happening on the channel. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about the infighting between the ANC factions, the group which is run by Ace Magashula, part of the head of the ANC, and the other faction which is Ramaphosa and his team. And it looks like Ace Magashula is winning here, guys. You just got to be aware of that. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring Ramaphosa into disrepute through these allegations of money laundering by the public protector. And the public protector is very much in the camp of Ace Magashula, who is part of Jacob Zuma's team. So what you've actually got happening now in South Africa in democratic politics is base tribalism. It's basically a Zulu faction against the rest. And the rest are Ramaphosa. And the public face of this is what's going on right now with people like Pravan and Ramaphosa, who are being indicted by the public protector. While people like Ace Magashula, who's probably the most corrupt person currently in a position of power in the ANC, is not even questioned. You know, you've seen Peter Louis Myburgh's book, The Gangster State, which clearly demonstrates that Magashula is a complete and utter con man. And not only that, he's quite happy to go and send out a hit squad to kill off his ANC opponents, and that there's lots of evidence of that. Let's get back to the public face of what's going on. And it involves, as I said, Godan, Ramaphosa, and the public protector, who is trying to use her position to get them kicked out. On Friday, the 5th of July, 2019, Public Protector Busisiwe Nkwabani released yet another set of findings about SARS and events that transpired there more than 6 years ago. Again, the Public Enterprise Minister, Pravan Gordhan, appears to be the target of these findings. You can see what's happening. It's called targeted. There are many questions regarding the latest findings and Nkwabani's conduct, but the main question may well be whether or not the public perception of Gordhan is changing. If it is not, then the findings may have little impact. Still, it appears that the end game is approaching, although it is uncertain what that will be. On Friday, Nkwabani released findings in which she said the unit at SARS that was set up to investigate high-level tax evasion was created illegally. Former Deputy SARS Commissioner Ivan Pillay immediately moved to have a legal review of the findings. He also released documents in which he explained his response to her questions, in which he explained how documents were taken from safes and how former President Jacob Zuma's son, Edward, phoned him to intervene on a particular matter. Now, notice how Jacob Zuma is coming into the question here, because that's the other faction. As I said, it's like tribalism. What you've got here is not a democratic ANC. You've got the actual base tribes who are now pushing to gain control of South Africa. You know, it's going right back to pre-1652. That's where it's going right now. The history of this unit is long and complicated. It was labeled a rogue unit in a paper headline before the headline and the story that underpinned it were retracted. At the time, Tom Moyane was the head of SARS or SARS. It is clear from what we know now that he was intent on weakening the institution. Testimony from Bain & Company, which was brought in to conduct a restructuring of SARS, shows that it knew Moyane would be the new SARS commissioner long before he was appointed, and that it would be involved in its restructuring. A legal inquiry headed by advocate Mozi Sikasani found the unit was created illegally. This was used by Myani as a pretext to suspend the then Deputy SARS Commissioner Ivan Pillay, the head of the unit itself, Johan van Loggerenberg, and the head of strategic planning at SARS, Peter Richer. Knowing what we know now, and particularly the findings of the Nugent Commission against Myani and others, it appears that removing Pillay, Richer and van Loggerenberg was crucial for Myani. They were the main people standing in the way of his plan and the interests of Jacob Zuma to weaken SARS. So what they were doing was they were using influential and key people to get rid of those within SARS who could be in the way when Zuma started looting the coffers of South African taxpayers. What is fascinating about Mkhwebani's findings now is that there was an important part to Sikakani's findings that can be easily missed. While he did find that the unit was created illegally, his inquiry also made it clear that those findings did not justify the suspension of Pillay, Richer and van Loggerenberg. Now it seems Mkhwebani is holding Pillay and, interestingly, Gordon himself responsible for the formation of this unit in an illegal fashion. This also differs with the findings of retired Supreme Court of Appeal Judge Robert Nugent, who found the unit was created illegally. While lawyers can argue about this sort of thing, it should be remembered that Mkhwebani has not had a good track record in court. It is not that she has just lost applications about her findings, it is also that she has abandoned her findings in her first major case, in which she found the Parliament should change the Constitution to change the mandate of the Reserve Bank. Now, that is clearly in the court of Ace Magashula, Malema and Jacob Zuma, who all want the South African Reserve Bank nationalized. In other words, they can then get their hands right inside the biggest piggy bank of all. That's what this is all about, guys. You have no idea. There's a clear objective behind all this that's going on here. It seems that the perception of the public about all these are crucial. In other words, do her findings change the views that people have of Gordhan and those around him? Mkhwebani's own utterances may well weaken her position. She has said that she was placed in her position by God, and that only God can remove her. This may lead some to question her loyalty to the Constitution, whose protection happens to be her job. On Friday, she also claimed that one of her protectors had been poisoned, amid a slew of other claims that she was being targeted. On Sunday, the paper said that she had been warned, "I must watch what I eat." However, the same paper reported police as saying there was no evidence to substantiate her claims and that her protector had been poisoned. The spokesperson said they were not aware of any such incidents until her press conference on Friday. This could easily lead to more claims around why she said she would make this sort of vague claim with no evidence to back it up. Taken together with her other claims about divine intervention in her career, her critics would say she cannot be taken seriously. However, we live in an age in which people pick and choose which sets of facts to believe. As a result, Mkhwebani's supporters will not be swayed and will continue to back her. In the meantime, it is likely that those who oppose her, particularly those who support President Cyril Ramaphosa, will continue with their attempts to put pressure on her in Parliament. Already National Assembly Speaker Thandi Modise has said the Justice and Correctional Services Committee can start its own proceedings into her conduct. Now, we know Thandi Modise is that disgusting woman who was put in as Speaker of the Parliament, who abused a large number of animals on her farm. Over 50 pigs alone died, and she's currently before the courts for animal abuse. This is the level of politician that you've got running South Africa at the moment. It is absolutely disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. The ultimate test of perceptions of her conduct will come if and seemingly when she makes her findings around the Bosasa loan or donation to Ramaphosa's ANC leadership campaign. She will then be taking on Ramaphosa, who's likely to have a better image than she does. In the meantime, however, there is a much bigger question about what the throwing of mud will do to our society. Now, what they're talking about there is a whole lot of stuff was leaked to the media, which was highly confidential. And of course, the media jumped on it and they let it out the bag. And this public protector was central to the leaking of all this information to try and damage the reputation of Ramaphosa and his clan. In the meantime, however, there is a much bigger question about what the throwing of mud will do to our society. None of the perceptions that people have of our leaders are set in stone. We live in a cynical country, particularly after the last decade. As a result, if enough mud is thrown at almost anyone, it might stick. This would mean that Ramaphosa and Gordhan could have their reputations tarnished. The longer-term impact of this would be to diminish everyone in public life. No one would be respected. People who take on jobs or campaigns with the best of intentions will be met with a cynical response. This would be do more damage to our nation. Well, you can't do much more damage than the ANC government have done to South Africa in the last 25 years, so it's more of the same. Anyway, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, ring the bell for updates, and have a great day. Bye for now.